Hi everyone. I hope you're having a great time there at the Hin of the Century, as it's known as. And I think most of you there tonight know me, but for those of you who don't, my own name is Shane. I'm also known as Shaney B, Uncle Shaney, and I will actually be the groom who will be attending Lisa's wedding on the 5th of December. So in case any of you are wondering who's that fella above the altar on that particular day, that'll be me. But like the rest of you, I'll be tagging along to Lisa's wedding. So our first kiss was in Alibi. It's a small little pub there in Cork City. We met in Cork City, and that date was on the 8th of March 2019. It was a Friday night. That was our first official date. Um, I think, like most couples, we argue about a few different things. I don't think we argue about one particular thing all the time. But to give you an example of a couple of examples, like every evening we'll have a cup of tea, and then there'll be, the odd evening we might have a small little piece of chocolate or a small little chocolate bar, and 1 or 2 days later, then you might find an old chocolate wrapper down the side of the cushions that Lisa might put into the bin. And I suppose that will kind of annoy me or whatever. I'll put, I'll just put the hand down the side of the cushion, and a magic chocolate wrapper just appears, like. So I just said, Lisa, why can't you put them into the bin or whatever? But then I suppose a small little thing like or whatever, but something else then that I might annoy Lisa would tell me something that we're doing on such a date. I mightn't remember. I might remember her telling me, or I might say, you didn't tell me that. She'll say she did, and again we might argue about that or whatever. In the bin, please. In the bin. Remember, we went down to the Ballyhigh curling field. And I just remember thinking, we were pucking ball or whatever, and I just thought, geez, Lisa, she's a fine puck of a slitter. So that kind of made up my mind in as well a little bit. Like, so I remember we came back home that night. Lisa was renting in Bishopstown at the time. I was still living in Limerick, like in Bruff. And but I remember I asked her that night, look, would you like to go with me, or would you like to be boyfriend girlfriend or whatever? And she said yeah. So our anniversary would be the 3rd of May 2019. Well, our first holiday as a couple would have been, I reckon, this year in Lanzarote, because a few years ago we went to her cousin's wedding in Albufeira in Portugal. But again, that was a lot of family members were out there, and we were all with them. As everyone knows, Lisa, 5-star hotel, Lava Beach in Lanzarote. But it was actually unreal. So yeah, this year would have been our first holiday, just the two of us. Mr. and Mrs. Be nice to each other. Mr. and Mrs. You gotta love one another. Well, I have a couple of nicknames, Lise obviously being one of them, but I have another, my other nickname would be for her would be Jabberjaws, because there would be some evenings there where she'd come home from work, she'd pull in, and she'd go on the phone then, and she's either sending a voice note to either, could be Denise, Grace, the Wolf Pack, could be anybody, but she's the phone in the hand, the hands are going, the jaws are going, everything is going, and yeah, that's why I would call her Jabberjaw sometimes, because she's going full 90, really, really, the mouth is, everything is flowing, the words are flowing. So yeah, Jabberjaws, I call her that sometimes. She'd say I describe her like a granny, but one of like my favorite thing I think about Lisa would be her kindness and her generosity. I think she's very very kind. Would have a heart of gold, and would have great ideas for getting presents for people and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think her kindness and her generosity would be my favorite thing about her. Super value, but she was actually headhunted by O'Brien Sandwiches. O'Brien's, there was word going around Ballincollig that, hey, did you hear about the sandwiches that this Lisa O'Sullivan is making? And O'Brien's got word of it, like, and they headhunted her and offered her more money. And Lisa, she left Super Value, went down to O'Brien Sandwiches then, and but her first job would have been a Super Value. If it's really a crush, but I'm going to go with Seamus Harnedy, the Cork senior hurler, because whenever he's playing with Cork, or if ever Cork are playing and it's on the telly, or if we're going to a Cork match or Limerick game, and she'd see Seamus Harnedy playing, she'd say, oh God, I love Seamus Harnedy, he's such a great player, I love Seamus Harnedy. So I'm going to go with Seamus Harnedy because that's the only other person that I've heard her say, "Oh God, I love Seamus Harnedy." I've never heard her say that about, you know, celebrities or anything. Her phone, she cannot live without her phone. She likes a nice Chinese, getting dressed up, going for a nice meal, nice drinks. I think she'll say her lips because she's told me on a few occasions that Shane, men would love to kiss my lips. They'd die to kiss my lips. So I think she'll say her lips because, as I said, she's often taught me that men over the years would have queued and would have, if given the chance, would have queued up to kiss her lips. And she has often taught me that Shane, men would love to kiss my lips. So I think she'll say her lips. There's actually too many to mention. Lisa is actually a very, very good cook. I love her cooking. Uh, she makes lovely homemade meals. One that might come to mind would be she does a really lovely like a chicken satay fake away, like a healthy version of the Chinese whatever. The chore she hates probably cleaning the bathroom, the the bathroom upstairs. I would think that might be. But another chore I think she hates that Lisa has thousands and thousands of euro worth of clothes, and there's clothes in the spare room, there's clothes in our room, there's clothes in the so-called makeup room. There's just clothes in a lot of rooms in the house, and I think she hates when she has to go through, maybe cleaning them up and tidying them up and putting them away. So I think one of those two chores, either cleaning up the bathroom or putting away her clothes. I think she'd go one of those. She might even go with both of them because I think her favorite TV show would be Married at First Sight. She wants to go on a cruise. Well, we both want to go on a cruise, but she mentioned about a cruise for the honeymoon. But then the other day, and a few times over the year, she's also mentioned about going to New York. So I would say either a cruise or New York. Top Gun Maverick, without a doubt. She loves Top Gun Maverick. I'm going to say Top Gun Maverick for that one. My lack of patience with everything. Um, like to give you an example, I don't like people who can't drive. I don't mean people who don't drive. I mean people who are actually driving on the road but are very bad at it. Um, I think my lack of patience with things would be maybe Lisa's pet peeve. Also, if we're watching a film or a series, and if I don't hear something, I'll have to. I might ask Lisa, what did I say there? And if she doesn't hear it either, I'd have to rewind it back. If I don't hear it, maybe 10 or 20 seconds. Mr. and Mrs. Be nice to each other. Well, I'm going to go with someone here, and I'm going to say it because I think there's a bit of this woman in Lisa. I'm going to say, and it's not exactly a crush, but I'm going to go Kelly Brook because I think there's a Kelly Brook in Lisa. You know, the similar features, you know, nice flowing hair, you know. I'll go Kelly Brook. Definitely kind and generous. Like, I'm gonna combine those two. Like, she's definitely very, very kind. Bossy, she can be bossy. So kind, bossy. She does have a soft center. I know I'm going through a lot of words here now, but kind, bossy, and I'm going to say fierce as well. You know, she's a strong woman. Like, you know, she yeah. So I'm going to say kind, bossy, and fierce. Remember when we got onto the beach, the tide was out. So I was like, yes, thank God the tide is out. And I remember just looking around, just seeing if there was anyone around, and there was only a handful of people on the beach, and they were far, far away. So we got down anyway to the beach, and we kind of, got halfway down or whatever. And my exact words were, I said, right, Lisa, I said, look, there's I suppose now is as good a time as any. I said, you know, I'm not good at words, but I said, you know how much you mean to me. And I said, will you marry me? And I got down on one knee, and that was it. She said, yeah. I remember we both kind of we kind of didn't know what to do then. Like, we were just kind of standing there, and you know, she said yes. And yeah, and there were my words. Very, very short. I'm not great with words, I suppose, but I just wanted to get to the point fairly quick, and that's what came out. So they were my exact words. Making hurleys with my dad and my brother, Bulfin quality handmade hurleys in Camusbrough, County Limerick.
But there's one requirement that all players will tell you he also needs: a well-balanced, handcrafted hurley.
And because of that, they're actually all handmade.
Either my mum, my dad, or Cahill, my brother Cahill. It was one of those. I can't remember. It could have been my parents first, and then I might have told Cahill. I can't remember for sure who was the first person, but it would have definitely been one of the three of them. Like, so. Shane, you're always wearing your bruff shorts. You have other shorts. Why are you always wearing them? Well, Lisa, I'm wearing them because I like my bruff shorts. And they're very, very comfortable. Well, I'm very good at taking out the bins. That's my job. Kitchen, like, I'm good at doing the washing machine, the dishwasher, putting away clothes, folding clothes, the dryer. So I'd like to think she thinks I'm good around the house, and that I pull my own weight. And I'd like to think, I hope she knows that family are very important to me. When I say family, I would include her in that as well. Like, so yeah, just like pitching around the house, and yeah, just, you know, family are very important to me. I hope you have a great night tonight, or a great weekend at the Hen of the Century. I hope you look after my mum and my aunt. You're a rowdy bunch, and but I hope you look after them and keep them safe. And remember, ladies, Limerick-a-boo, up Limerick.